This week's parasha is Parshas Noach. In this week's parasha, we are told how Hashem went and destroyed the entire world through a flood. Only Noach and his immediate family survived the flood. The Torah tells us after that Noach brought sacrifices to thank Hashem for the fact that he and his family had been saved. What I'd like to focus on is the psukim which follow that. The Torah tells us as follows: Vayochel Noach ish Adamah, that Noach began to become a farmer. Vayitakorim, and as a result, he planted a vineyard. The Torah continues, Vayesht min hayayin vayishkar, that he drank from the wine and he became drunk. Vayiskal b'soich oholoi, and as a result of his drunkenness, he became revealed in his tent. Rashi on the words Vayochel Noach, and Noach began, uses a play on words. Vayochel could also refer to chulin, something which is unsanctified, something which has become desecrated. Rashi says that the rabbis go and criticize Noach because of the fact that he should have brought something else to plant instead of a vineyard. Rashi says he could have brought anything. He could have planted vegetables, he could have planted wheat, he could have planted barley, he could have done anything. But what does Noach choose to do? He chooses to plant a vineyard. And as a result, he gets drunk. Why does Noach choose to plant a vineyard? And why is he criticized so badly for planting this vineyard in the first place? We need to understand a bit about Noach in order to answer this question. Noach had been through an incredibly traumatic experience through his life. He had experienced the flood. He had experienced the fact that he had to take care of all the animals. And if one animal was being left without being fed, that he was damaged by that animal. In fact, prior to that, we know that Noach lost all his friends, all the people he knew. That entire culture, that entire civilization was completely lost. All that remained was Noach and his family. The Torah tells us, Vayishoyer ach Noach. Only Noach remained. After such an incredible trauma, such a difficult time for Noach, did he not deserve a stiff drink? Did he not deserve to have a cup of wine? The Torah is telling us a really important point over here. The Torah is telling us that when one goes through an incredible trauma, there are two ways of doing it. One can either hearken back to the good old days, to before things were bad, or one can look forward. Noach's task, Noach's test, was to move forward. To be able to say, yes, I know the terrible things that happened in the past, my entire world has been destroyed. It's up to me to rebuild, to repopulate, to recreate a new civilization. This is an opportunity for me. Instead, Noach fails in this test. In fact, Noach is called Noach because of the way that he improves life for civilization. The Torah tells us that he was called Noach because the Torah tells us, Noach will comfort us from the sadness of our hands, min ha'adamah, from the ground, asher eiro Hashem, that Hashem has cursed. Hashem cursed the ground because of Adam. Noach moves the world forward. He creates implements which allow the world to be tilled so that it can plant, so that the ground is no longer cursed. Noach's ability, Noach's characteristic is to rebuild, to move on. However, over here, Noach loses that opportunity. Noach, in fact, harkens back. He drinks some wine, he becomes drunk, he reminisces, he thinks about what he's lost. This is Noach's test, and unfortunately Noach fails here. This is also our test. How do we move on after tragedy? How do we move after so much trauma? When bad things happen to us, do we think back to the past and do we think how much better things might have been, or how bad things were and how bad things are, and we want to forget it? Our task is to be able to move forward, to be able to rebuild our lives, to be able to create something new and meaningful from the destruction, from the ashes. Shabbat Shalom.